All right, it's good morning. Very chilly in that little low area that I slept in last night. I knew it would be because it was low. Right down the middle of everything where all the cold air is going to gather. But I wanted to be close to that water source. So, yeah, I got all cameled up and filled up, got my 4 liters. And I'm just gonna, I think, pretty much carry 4 liters the rest of the way in. And whenever I find water, I'll just guzzle up as much as I can, fill up my 4 liters again. Just get me as far as I can every day. 4 liters, if I had to, probably get me 2 days out here with the cool temperatures the way they've been. So anyway, wow, gorgeous. Carrying a lot of weight though. It was, didn't seem like it last night, but it was so wet on that sandbar that I put my tent on, even though there was no water anywhere nearby. And my tent is soaking wet inside and out this morning. And therefore my sleeping bag got a little wet. And, you know, whatever. So carrying that weight. So yeah, sometime today I'll have to stop and maybe try to air that out when I have lunch. Well, I've made it my 3 or 4 miles this morning, and here's a water cache that unfortunately I don't need because I am not trusting water anymore. So, I mean, not trusting that it's going to be anywhere. So I'm carrying 4 liters right now, and I drank so much this morning that literally after 3 or 4 miles, I am still making pit stops. I am so waterlogged, but I am going to have one of those. So, and I'll be on my way. Most of the way to the top of this climb. As you can probably tell, gave me all I could handle. Definitely not in climb shape yet. Had to stop and take a couple breaks to make it up there. But it was good. It's good to just be in the mountains now. Oh, beautiful out there. Tons of, and maybe all, I don't know, of New Mexico's mountain ranges down in this area are volcanic, formed by volcanoes in the past and stuff. So there was a lot of activity a long time ago here, and you can sort of tell by the look. Gorgeous. Well, I have not charged my batteries at all in Lordsburg, and so I've been really trying to conserve battery out here. I haven't been videoing quite as much, and I haven't been looking at my app very often. So I was so far off. First of all, I wonder why I've been dying today doing this climbing. Well, I've been climbing, at least another half hour since I said I thought it was maybe at the top. And it was harder climbing than I was doing at the beginning. And then I just took a look at the app, and I am only about halfway up Burrow Peak. And, you know, I've been hiking around 4,500 feet most of the time out here. And apparently I slept last night at 6,000 feet and started climbing at 6,000 feet-ish, you know, right in there. And we'll be around 8,000 feet at the top of Burrow Peak. So I'm doing 2,000 feet up, and I'm doing it at a way higher elevation than I have been doing. So anyway, I feel better about being really lame. So yeah, halfway there. Right now I'm in some kind of saddle or something, ready to start the second half of this climb. Good day to be conserving water. Well, something happened in the last, 30 minutes or so. I'd say the first 1,000 feet of this climb, maybe more like 1,100 feet something. I just was like incapable. I could hardly, go 20 feet. I just had to stop, breathe, sit down. Of course, I'm sitting down now. But yeah, in the last several hundred feet of climbing, which has been, 30 minutes or so, something's kicked in, something's changed, and I'm breathing better, and I'm making it anyway. I was there for a while, man. There were some sections I think I was hiking 1 mile an hour, literally just putting one foot in front of the other. And just getting by, trying to make a few feet before I'd stop. But now, I'm going a couple miles an hour uphill, and this is the first break I've taken in, probably 30 minutes. So yeah, it's getting better. And I saw the peak I'm heading towards. It's this peak with antennas all over it. I have been seeing it this whole time, but I haven't videoed it because it's so ugly with all the antennas. But I've circled all the way around the whole entire range, and I'm sure that's where I'm going. So yeah. And here's a surprise. Pine trees. My first pine trees. Anybody who's ever watched my videos before knows once I see the pine trees, I'm at home. That's where I want to be. So I don't know how long we'll be in them. Hopefully for a couple days, but maybe I'll descend and be out of them here in 45 minutes and not see any again for a while. But wow, that's happiness. I'll go pull a couple of those needles off and see if they're fresh enough to chew on. Get some of that vitamin C out of there. All right, so luckily got close to the antennas and then circled around back, hiked for another 20 minutes or whatever, and here I am at the top of Burrow Peak. So that's great that it wasn't Antenna Mountain. And now I'm getting ready to go down the other side, I think, and look for some water. Hey, this is the first real sign on the trail. Continental Divide Trail, number 74. That way. Now, if I go that way, it says there's a seep, which is just a area where I could potentially get water. But only, it's like a quarter mile to it. And only 3/10 of a mile up here is a spring that looks like it's about 100%. I don't know. We'll see, but I figure since it's on trail, it makes more sense. If I can't find any, I can always decide to come back. It's not very far, and it's pretty level traveling to go back to that seep. So that's my gamble. Well, I passed at my water source when I was going down the trail. It said that there was an obvious intersection, and it was not obvious at all. But anyway, so apparently here's the spring, and there's some water that looks a little nasty, but if you look right here, it comes down and comes out again. Let's see if I can wipe out here on this gravel. And this looks better. So, yeah, look at that. Oh, hallelujah. I'm glad it's here. I've been drinking like I was gonna have to go 3 days on those 4 liters and a Dr. Pepper. But guess what? I'm gonna set up camp right here. Not really, but I'm gonna have lunch, chill out, guzzle, 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 fill up to my 4 liters again, take off in a little while, and start all over again, pretending like I have to make it for the whole rest of the way to Silver City on 4 liters. Found a good place to try to dry out my tent a little bit while I'm having lunch. All right, just leaving the spring here, and I spent so much time here. I mean, I think it was well over an hour. Just getting water, eating, drying out my tent and everything. It's not quite 2 o'clock, but it's close. I've only gone about 10 miles today. Of course, with that big climb, I wasn't really fully in shape for. I wonder how many people are starting the CDT and are fully in shape for that climb. Anyway, let's see what happens. I have a ton of water, drank a ton of water, and I drink so much water I can't already breathe right now. There's a chance of water here 3-ish miles ahead, another chance at 4, and then I don't think there's any water after that for about 20 miles from here. So if there's no water through other places, then I got to go 20 miles for sure. So that really means carrying water all the way until tomorrow at the, towards the end of the day. So I think it'll work out okay. I don't think there's another climb like this. If there is, that could present a problem. Hey, found a little spot buried back in here. Oh, I just made a spot. I'm calling it a night. I think I did about 15 miles today. It feels like I did 25 or 35 or 105. So anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna lay down. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.